right?
Watch out, catfish.
All this retouching that I spent 8 hours on, they do it on one tap.
Yeah,
right?
watch out, catfish.
You know, catfish, right? You know, go on TikTok, click on the filter, swipe left. Changes you.
But you know they're done with this in France, eh? In France, it's out loud.
Yeah, they out loud. Yeah.
Catfishing shall stop in France.
You know what happened, right? One of those lawmakers went on a date with somebody that did not look like, came home and like, you know what? Something needs to be done. Something ain't right. I'm doing this for all the brothers out there, right? Who went through what I went through. So yeah.
Straight facts. Back at it again. You already know Sauce on the cut.
Hey, yes, sir. And your man's is in the building. And tonight, we got Freshh Anderson in the building. Popular Ottawa photographer. Has worked with popular models like Naomi Campbell and many, many, many more. Welcome to the show.
What up? Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Thank you so much
for bare shots of me in the club. It's an honor.
Hey man, you made it happen.
Thank you. So yeah, man, what's up? Happy to be here. And yeah, thank you for having me.
That's good
definitely.
stuff, man. Let's get this rolling. So let's get this rolling.
You already know. All right. So, when did you first pick up a camera, and how were you first introduced to photography? How did you get involved in that world?
So me specifically, professionally, I got into it. So I was originally like a rapper, producer. I was making a lot of music in my younger age, high school, going into like university, and I didn't want to pay people to take my pictures. So I kind of taught myself how to, use a camera and be professional and take good shots. And then I had a daughter. And then I realized that, hip hop wasn't going to pay for her life or anything like that. So I just kind of turned what I learned into kind of like a profession.
Right.
And it started to work out. How I fell in love with photography was, once again, I was in high school. I was just rapping and making beats, and there's this girl in my photography. Well, she took photography as a class in high school, and she wanted to use me as like a subject or whatever it was. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. She used a professional camera, took a picture of me. This was like a long time ago. She like developed it in like a red room, and she gave me like the actual Polaroid, and I saw myself. I'm like, damn, that's me. So, and I fell in love with that picture. Still have that picture to this day. And once I saw what a real camera could do, that's when I was like, okay, this is how everything has to look. Because before I was using those little Sony Cybershot ones, pocket things, whatever. But then I saw that, and I'm like, okay, this is how it has to be. And I just fell in love with it from there.
Speaking of which camera was the first one that you picked up?
The first camera that I picked up, my first professional camera, because once again, when I just started out, I was using like the Sony Cybershots, the little weird ones that people used to put in their purse when they went to the club. The first professional one that I bought was a Canon T3i. Very Stone Age camera right now, but it did the trick. I was able to take it to studios. I was able to take it to nightclubs. I was able to take it everywhere, and and I just kept upgrading from there. And that was the first one. I spent about maybe $700 on it back then. At the time.
And you stayed with Canon.
That's what usually happens. Your first camera is usually the one that you're loyal to, because you start buying lenses and you start buying batteries and all this stuff. And if you want to sell it, you got to sell all of that too. So I just been Canon ever since. And I still have it. I actually just gave it to my daughter like a couple months ago, because she wants to start learning how to shoot. So she's using that now too as her first camera. So exactly. Yeah, so that was an historic piece of equipment.
A nice little daddy.
Exactly. You know what it is.
And you get to connect on top of that with your passion, right?
Exactly.
And what pays the bills too, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people, we don't talk enough about people that gets to work in the field that they actually like, you know what I mean? Or maybe an industry that really they're passionate about, and they get to pay the bills and grow their asset column with it, right?
Yeah, it's very tough.
How do you feel about that?
I always, I always tell people, do what you love and the money will come. I guess depends on the industry, but I always go for the love first. Like till this day, there's still some people that I'll just shoot for free just because I just love to shoot. I just love picking up a camera. I just love the science behind photography. I just love it. And I feel that when you really are passionate about something, that energy feeds off into the customer and they want to come back or they want to recommend you to somebody else because they're like, yo, this guy, he's good and he loves what he's doing, holla at him. So I always try to do what makes me happy. I always try to be happy first, and like I said, the bookings just keep flowing in as you just do what you love.
It keeps on going as you're working.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of which, so with the set of skills that you've gained over time, right? What would be a piece of advice that you would give to a new photographer, somebody that's just getting into the game?
Yeah.
Overall? What would be a piece of advice that you'd like to
share
with them, for them that's trying to get their feet wet essentially?
Yeah, definitely. What I just said there, do what love it. You gotta love photography, not just want to do it for the money or or for the girls or whatever it is. Like do it because money. You know what I mean? So yeah, shoot because you love, you actually have a passion for photography, but but also like study your craft. Like you gotta. Technology is not stopping for anybody, and it's always changing, and there's always going to be new stuff.
Now you're competing against AI.
Exactly. It's always changing, and there's always new stuff. And if you're not on top of it, if you stay rigid and you don't learn new stuff, you're gonna get left behind. So you gotta want to always be on top of it, know what's new, figure out new ways on how to obviously improve your workflow. Make pictures better or video, whatever it is that you're doing. Definitely study your craft because there's somebody else who's also just getting into the game like you are, and they're gonna be doing it the new way. They're not gonna do it the old way. So if you're not doing it the same way, or at least are ahead of them, it's gonna be tough for you to kind of break into the market and stand out. So
you have to be adaptable to change.
Yeah, you definitely have to be adaptable. You definitely have to be open to try new things. You have to open. You have to be able to have enough discipline to figure out this is what works for me, this is what doesn't work for me, and you also have to be I don't know what the word that I'm looking for is, but you have to be stern on certain values, meaning that if you are doing a certain type of photography and you just don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like shooting food, don't shoot food. If you don't like shooting weddings, don't shoot weddings, because it will show up in your photography and customers will see it, and once again, energy, they'll see that energy and they're like, this guy doesn't even like his job, I want to get somebody else. So you want to do stuff that you love, for sure.
See someone smiling behind
exactly
you.
Exactly. You want to be as excited as image when you show them that, when they see it too. When they see, they're like, oh, that's me. You want to be like, that's you. You know what I mean? Like, I shot that. So you want to have that for sure. So you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And what was your first shot? Do you remember it? And if you do, what was
shot? I would say, I think one of my album covers, was one of my first shots. Looking back at it now, I could definitely think of a million ways on how to improve that shot.
Right. So you shot the album cover for the little booklet, right?
Yeah, exactly. The little booklet that goes into the CD tray. I shot that. I do a lot of stuff on my own.
But hold on, you shot it in the sense where you took pictures of yourself?
Yeah.
So you press the button and right in front?
Till this day, I still do.
Till this day?
You see pictures of myself on the Instagram, that's me, I shot it. Because I feel more comfortable knowing that, because when I first started, exactly. Right now, I'm kind of a little more open up. But when I first started, I was very stern on, how I see it is how it has to be. And I had a problem trusting people to kind of see how I wanted to see. So I would always just do everything myself. I wanted to shoot a video, I would do it myself. I want to shoot a picture of myself, I'll do it myself. Everything, I'd rather learn and do it the way I want to do it, and opposed to telling somebody how I want it, and after they shoot it and it's not exactly how I saw it before, and then after I'm not happy. I would always try to do it myself. Now I've kind of grown up a little bit, and I've learned to kind of like delegate and, you know, work with other people, work with teams, and really kind of embrace the fact that even if it is exactly how I see it, it's okay to see it how somebody else sees it, because that's also beautiful too. You know, so that's what I've kind of changed over the years. But yeah, when I was young, it was definitely, this is how I want it, this is how it's gonna be, so I'm gonna do it myself. So yeah, all those photos of me, it's shot by me. All the my first photo, my first like real shot, I definitely shot it up myself for sure.
Yeah, now I feel like I have to take your advice. Every time I ask Zoe to take a picture of me, it's always a trash picture. I'm like, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Serve yourself, right? And tell me, like, how was your upbringing? You know, how did it shape your creativity?
My upbringing?
Yeah.
Well, so I like music is really what kind of pushed me into this field, like I said before. But like my parents, huge Michael Jackson fan. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and from a young age, I really understood how Michael Jackson was very, very, very particular about everything. Everything. Like I don't know if a lot of people know this, like back in the day, you know, when we had CDs, there's kind of like a cap of like 72 minutes. So when you're burning CDs, 72 minutes was the max. All your tracks had to be on it. So Michael Jackson dropped that album, Dangerous, and the length of that whole entire album was like 74 minutes, like 2 minutes overboard. So obviously he had to put in extra resources to get those extra 2 minutes. But the thing is, if you listen to the whole entire album, there's a lot of tracks where he could easily have taken out those 2 minutes.
Right.
Like even that huge opera theme before that song, Will You Be, like you could have cut that down just a little bit just to fit under the two. And I'm pretty sure he had arguments with executives saying like, yo, like, cut this off, let's just make it 72, save the budget. It's like, no, it has to be in there. He was very particular, and I noticed that at a young age, how he's just so particular about everything.
That's a cool story. I didn't know that story about Michael Jackson.
And so that's how I always went into anything that I did creatively. Is like it had to be exactly how I saw it. Because if it wasn't, then I just wasn't going to be happy with it. So I always wanted to be happy with it. So I would rather go the extra mile, spend the extra hour, spend the extra money, spend the extra time watching the video just so I can get it how I want, so I could be 100% proud of it. And I always say that perfectionism is a flaw. Sometimes it holds you back.
It can.
I was about to say in that sense, because you know, being very meticulous can definitely help you out, but you'll also always find problems in the work.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, when you're meticulous that way, do you find that you have difficulty delegating some of your work to other people in that respect?
Definitely. I had like when I want something the way how I want to do it, it kind of, like I said, it holds you back, because sometimes you're missing out on something great, or even something that is good enough. Something that somebody just won't even care about it. If they saw it the first time, they're like, you're listening to that album, you're not even gonna think about, oh my God, the 2 minutes could have been gone. No, it is what it is. But so it kind of holds you back in that, and that's when I kind of realized, okay, you know what? It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be great without being perfect, because sometimes stuff will never be perfect. So you just gotta get out of that zone and be okay with it. And that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm able to be okay with stuff that isn't perfect but still great.
Great product.
Exactly.
Part of your growth.
Part of the process.
Of beauty and imperfections, right? And then I feel like it's like kind of like the trend nowadays, right? Like podcasting, right? Talk about podcasting. Like, you know, videography, like, you know,
100%.
Little.
100%. Like, I have a friend of mine who's also getting into this industry of podcasting, and you know, when he got the cameras, he got the lights, he got this, he got that, big ass mixer, room set up. He watched all these videos, he's perfected everything, and I'm like, all right, cool, you have everything now press record. You know, start talking, start spitting your stuff, start doing stuff, because without the content, it's nothing. It's like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or I gotta do this, or I gotta organize them. Like, well, yeah, but when you start talking, it's gonna start to you're gonna start to get more comfortable. You're gonna start to watch yourself and be like, okay, I should change that, or I should change that. But until you press record, all you just got is all $1,000 worth of equipment and no content. So it's definitely one of those things that imperfections sometimes make it more raw, and even too sometimes my photos, like I used to be like a heavy airbrush photoshopper, making whoever I'm shooting look like a doll, and I just realized they just weren't recognizable anymore. My picture didn't look like them when people saw them in the street, and so it's like I'd rather tone down or even not Photoshop somebody's picture just so they can be who they are and be happy, and look and be proud of their photo as it is. So that's how they see themselves. They'll be happy with it as well. When people see them in the streets, like, that's you, that's the photo. Let the imperfection be the imperfection. It is what it is, because that's how you look like in real life. That's how you should look in my photo.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Catfish is a big series. Right?
It is. It's a whole episode right there.
Half the time, man, you be meeting them, it don't even look like them. No, but
100%.
I mean,
roasting Manny
take your time every shoot to like edit, like
just straight up.
Let's say a passport photo, like let's say a straight shot. How long does it take you to edit?
So it depends on what I'm trying to achieve. If it was like, if I'm just doing like a fun shoot, like let's say I find somebody and like, yeah, you're really beautiful, I want to capture you, I want to do whatever. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do a lot. Probably just contrast, highlights, shadows, nothing crazy, But if I'm doing print, if I'm shooting for a magazine, trying to do a spread in a magazine or whatever it is, they have a certain standard.
Right.
So
that even that beautiful person, or photogenic person, they would want to be like top notch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, depending on the magazine, if they want, the longest I've spent on one photo is 8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours. 8 hours of retouching, getting in there, getting every single, blemish, getting every single flaw out there, and then after smoothing it out and making the hair fuller and making the eyes have no veins in it and everything, just spending all that time. Certain magazines, that's what they want. So you
ever get lost in the details?
Oh yeah, 100%. Sometimes I have to get up and take a break, and sometimes I just can't. I gotta just leave the computer, because I will literally find I'll just find a blemish that just wasn't there anymore, and I'll look it from far away. Oh, there it is again, and it's going in again. So it's like it could be a lot of work, especially if your eyes are just staring at the screen for a while. So you get lost in the sauce, and you gotta step away from it for a little bit.
As you're talking, I'm just thinking, have you ever gotten someone that's like, you know what, like, I feel like I'm a natural beauty. What are you doing, Fresh? Right? Have you ever gotten someone that felt like you...
Like difficult?
Difficult, part of it, but also someone that's just like doesn't like that you basically modified them.
Yeah.
And they thought they were like a natural beauty.
Yes. So I get both sides. So I get the side of I don't want too much, I mean, I want to look natural, because sometimes I forget. I'm like, because I'm so used to girls or models saying, make my hips smaller, or make my, I don't like my arm, make my arm a little smaller. So you do that so many times, and then someday you get a really natural model who just really loves how they are, and then you do it, and they're like, oh, why'd you do that to my arm? It's like, oh, my bad, I totally forgot. Go. Yeah, but then after, I also get the other part of it, where, like I just said, some they want to be, I guess, like you said, cash fish. They want to look different. They want to whatever. And maybe it's because of their industry. They need to look like a certain way on social media, or they got to look a certain way for whatever it is that they're promoting. So you got to do it. And sometimes I don't like doing it. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I don't like, editing people, what I mean? Sometimes I'm looking at them and I remember the shoot, and I remember being in the studio with them, and I'm like, yo, this is a dope
That ain't
photo. This is a
you.
dope photo. This is so sick. And then after I send them the raw ones, and they're like, okay, this is cool. Can you edit my hair? Can you edit my butt? Can you edit my, chest?
Right.
And I'm like, but it's sick as it is, and you can't say that to the client because they pay you like they get what they want. You just got to do what exactly. Client gets what the client wants. Yeah. So yeah, it sucks because like sometimes I have some great photos and they're great as they are, but I gotta change them up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, through this baggage of experiences, like, what's been your best experience in your career so far? You like my sticker?
Yeah.
It was good.
Like your best experience so far, in the career, in the industry, like.
The best experience.
Yeah. Give us your top 2, maybe top 3, but ideally, just give us one.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have a lot. Like. I would say maybe my most. So I'm guessing I'm kind of like moving into film. I'm still a photographer at heart, but but moving into film. I'm starting producing films, right? Video. Like films, like short films.
Oh, okay.
So I'm producing films, writing them. So my first film, because my daughter is also an actress, so my first film I had my daughter lead in that one, and that's probably one of my favorite experiences of all time. Just producing a film with my daughter, her on set, seeing how well she was doing, having the whole crew there, seeing my vision of what I wrote.
You were proud,
proud, 100%. That's definitely a very, very memorable experience for me. Also, doing a lot of shoots with my wife. My wife's a wake-up artist, so she's always on set with me doing stuff.
Yep.
She also has energy. She's that female voice. Obviously, sometimes I can't, say the things that exactly. Yeah. So she comes on set and she keeps the model energetic and whatever. So that's always fun. Right. Traveling, shooting people that, in different cultures and seeing how they respond to photography. It's all, the whole entire photography experience is almost like one in itself, because it just opens up, different personalities and moments that are captured, and it's great. It's phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, speaking about moments that have been captured, what does a photograph mean to you?
A photograph means to me, like, as I was talking to him before off camera, is like when you capture a photo and somebody looks at the photo, they're not remembering that 0.1 second that you press click. They're remembering the whole entire day or that whole entire event of when you were taking it. So whether it was a photo shoot, whether it was at an event, whether it was a wedding, whether it's a picture of food of their business or whatever it is, they see that and they see something that is more than just a photo. So I like playing a part in that. I just love playing a part in that, because there are some people who have photos out here that I took that they're gonna hold next to them forever, or they're never gonna forget it. It's like tattooed on their brain. They're never gonna forget. Oh, you took a picture of my baby. Oh, you took a picture of me when I was at my lowest point, or you took a picture of my wedding. Me and my husband were still together, or whatever it is. Like, I capture moments that people are never, ever, ever, ever gonna forget. And they might tell their children generations down, or they'll tell their friends, or it stays in the group chat. Whatever it is, I am responsible for stuff that people are going to remember for the rest of their life. And I get high off of that. I love that.
So that initial reaction definitely has a big impact.
100%.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's why I don't do weddings no more. It is because...
You fuck up the bride wedding pictures.
Oh, I can't. Bridezillas, momzillas. Like
You got your name for the money.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, dog, I'm telling you, the money is good, but the stress, I can't. I'm not.
Is that not nice though, that you're able to not be pushed around by the dollars and kind of pick your niche and pick, where you want to do the work. If we was talking off camera, I was quite surprised you weren't doing weddings.
Yeah,
it's a big business.
Yeah, I did it. I did it before, and then I stopped because, like I said, it was. I like controlling my environment, and there's
And you get wild at weddings.
yeah, and
You get
yeah,
wild.
exactly. In fact, there's way too many factors that come into weddings, especially these days, because with social media, we have these devices where we can scroll on like Pinterest or Instagram, and we see this perfect couple, with perfect sunlight, and
Right.
you know, dresses flowing, and everybody looks so beautiful and perfect, and then they reach out to me like, I want that. And you know, I'm like, okay, well, where's your wedding venue? It's like, oh, you know, at the AY Center. It's like, bro, like, I can't do that.
I can't make
do
it
that
happen,
here.
yeah.
I can't do that. You know, it's raining that day. It's like I can't. You know, the sun is just happened to be
And it'd be
behind the
mad, like-
cloud when you guys are kissing, and then that changes everything. And in weddings, there is no do-over.
Yeah.
I can't tell Daddy go dance with her one more time because the sun moved under the cloud. I can't do that. And so there's way too much pressure.
Too many
I
factors.
see.
And there's way too much factors that I am
Yeah.
not able to control. And like I said, when I was doing it, it was all by myself. I didn't have a team or whatever
Yes.
it was. So there was nobody like backup. Oh, okay, if I miss a shot, someone else. No, it was just me. So then sometimes, you know, the bride will get the photos and it's like, oh, it wasn't what I was expecting. Or, you know, I sent you this photo and you gave me that photo. And it's like,
Right.
there's nothing. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So I just got out of it because, like I said, it's too much. It's too much pressure, too much stress.
Yeah.
My own mental health, I can't do it. Like I
You
get
brought,
the
you
bread.
brought a very good point when you mentioned, you know, like you can't recreate shots, right? I mean, for a perfectionist like you, right? You
Yeah,
mentioned
it
you
one
bothers
and
me.
done.
100% bothers me.
Yeah, one
Like it
and done.
bothers me. Like I said, if someone's putting a ring on the finger and you know my aperture is not where it's supposed to be because I set it to how the
Right.
sun was 5 minutes ago.
You can't tell the bride.
You know, exactly. I miss it, and that will like kill my vibe for the rest of the 8 hours I'm at that wedding because I will just keep scrolling back to that photo and be like thinking about, okay, how am I going to edit this in Lightroom? How am I going to edit this in Lightroom? It's like, oh, the daddy and daughter are dancing again. Oh, snap! Oh, my bad. And it's like it'll kill me for the entire wedding. And so I'm just like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm not cut. There are people out there who are great at it. That are wonderful at it. That are prepared
It takes
for
a
it.
certain kind of person to go. You
It's
go
not
hug your
me.
mother-in-law.
It's not me. It's not me. I can't do it. Like I'll still do it for like homies or really close
Yeah,
friends,
I
people who
can
don't
imagine.
who don't care about Pinterest. They just want
Yeah.
some good photos to remember. But yeah, if you just hit me up in the DM and you're like, I'm getting married on July the 27th, I'll be like, you know, I'll hire somebody else. It ain't me.
Right. Yeah, you ready to care. Bye
Facts. Yeah,
That
man.
was good. Hey, you know what? We're just essentially talking about wild experiences. That kind of sounded like a bit of a
Whole
tough
story,
one.
yeah.
A bit of a tough one.
Yeah.
Do you have any positive wild stories that you've taken overall that you've had crazy shoots and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm never gonna forget about this. In the positive light.
In a positive light, well, this isn't really a shoot, but it was a very humbling experience for me. So there was like this point in time last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't know. These years just keep flying. Anyways, yeah. So I just kept getting all these referrals. Like, so somebody like girls just kept hitting me up in the DM saying, "Hey, I want to shoot. You know, this person referred me. This person referred me." And I had no idea who this person was. But I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah, we'll do the shoot. And it just kept coming up. You know, I'm gonna call him Alex. Alex said that you're the best person to shoot with. People from out of town. A lot of them are like Toronto, you know, Montreal, places I go to a lot or whatever. Like, yeah, you said you're the best person to shoot. Cool. So whatever. I did the shoots. And I kept, anytime that, because it kept happening, I kept scrolling through. I'm like, who's this Alex person? Obviously, you search Alex, there's a million of them, so you don't know.
Right, very generic.
Whatever. So anyway, so yeah, one day I'm at this event and I'm just shooting pictures and whatever, who it is. And, you know, I snap this person. It's like, yeah, yo, what's up, Freshh Anderson, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's Freshh Anderson. It's like, yo, what up? I'm Alex. And I'm like, hey, yo, you're the person who keeps sending all these people to me? I'm like, yo, thank you. I don't know who you are, whatever. Thank you for,
Right.
It's like, yo, it's no problem. I love your work, dope. I just can't follow you. because I'm married and my wife's very jealous. So, but I'm supporting you from afar. I love everything that you do. Keep doing what you do.
Right.
Anytime anybody wants anything, I send them over to you. It is what it is. And I'm like, all right, well, thank you. I appreciate the likes from afar. I appreciate it. So that right there kind of made me, I guess, kind of like stop caring about social media in terms of, because there's some times when I was like always concerned about, if I post this, is it gonna get enough likes? Who's it gonna reach? You know what I mean? How many follows do I have? How could I
Yeah.
And I just realized, wait a second, this person who's sent me the most business isn't even following me.
Right?
You know what I mean? So is this even important? Like, people just love
You never
what
know
I
who's
post. Yeah,
watching.
no one's
Yeah.
watching. Just post it. Just post it. Let people love it for loving it. Even if they don't double tap on it, who cares? They may see it and they may love it. Hey, they may see it, they may hate it. Who cares? Just post it up.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about all that stuff. And like I said, love what you do, and the money will come. And that was a perfect example for that for me. Yeah.
And how do you choose your subjects?
How do I choose them?
Yeah, and is it like a long process? Like you,
no.
ugly, no.
If somebody like hits me up, and like a lot of times how the process usually happens is, excuse me, I would post a photo, and then somebody would message me say, I want that.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool. And then after,
Do you have to see if they're a good fit?
no, not necessarily, because like a lot of times, like in terms of what I choose to post is usually a lot of stuff that I like to do for fun, or I did a paid shoot and the photos were just so nice that I got asked, can I post that? But a lot of times, like, big, small, wide, slim, tall, whatever. If you want to do a photo shoot with me, I'll try to make you look the best that you possibly can. And if you're a paying client, I'll do that for you. Okay. Yeah. So I don't necessarily reject anybody. The only rejections you'll get from me are like weddings.
Basically. You open for business.
Exactly.
Except weddings.
Weddings. I don't really do. But other than that, if you hit me up,
You do like what? You do like baby showers or like wedding showers?
I actually I showed up at a friend's baby shower a while ago. I'll do birthday parties. I'll do birthday shoots.
Gender reveals.
There's
also
gender
sip and
reveals.
see. That's when you
exactly. You know what I mean? I'll do all that. Like I said, a product that's coming out, I'll shoot it too. If you got, like I said, you're opening a restaurant, you want pictures of your food, I'll do that too. Like, there's a lot of, there's not much photography that I don't like to capture. I like to make anything as beautiful as I can.
Speaking of which, you've talked about a lot of different venues that you've tried. What about real estate? Have you ever done real estate photography? Has that ever been of interest?
No, well, yeah, I've done like a couple people's Airbnbs or whatever like that, but no, I've never reached out into like a brokerage or anything and be like, hey, I could be your photographer or anything like that. No, it's be something I'd be open to. Yeah. Like if some exactly, there's definitely probably a lot in there. But I'm one of those. I'm an opportunist. Somebody offers something to me and I end up loving it, I'll do it. But I don't necessarily always seek out opportunities. I'm not the best agent. I'm not the best salesperson. I'm actually a horrible salesperson. I like to do as least amount of talking as possible. Meaning that you saw my work, you like it, then let's do that.
Well, sometimes you don't have to talk much to sell a product.
Exactly,
too, right?
That's the thing. So that's probably why I haven't done real estate, because I've shot a lot of people. So people are probably like seeing, okay, he's a portrait photographer, not really real estate, so I won't reach out to him. And like I said, I'm not the type of person who will go to a brokerage and be like, hey, let me shoot for you. So that's probably why I haven't got into it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like my selling is my work, and sometimes it's like, sometimes if I want extra money, I just post some old photos. That's really what it is.
Get it.
I just post it, and then somebody messages me.
Right.
Usually
it kind of sounds like you're almost like a expert marketer almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
a
there's
bit.
a lot of power in pictures and videography, right?
Yeah, there is, and I also feel like what's kind of helped made me successful a little bit is I put myself to it. Like I'm relatable, meaning that like I said, I don't care about the followers and the likes anymore. I just put what's out there, and if I'm putting a story, it's me out there. It's not necessarily 100% crafted or 100% scripted or whatever it is. It's just there, and I respond to stuff. When people message me, it's not 4 or 5 days before a reply, or I'll leave a comment. I'll leave when other people post stuff, I like their stuff, because I only like what I like. So people feel like, Freshh is a real person. Like, he's a person I can talk to. He's a person that I can reach out. I feel like I'll be comfortable with him, And that's another thing too. A lot of people I've shot with, they will tell other people when they're looking to shoot with me, like, yeah, he's a cool guy. He's dope. He's fun. He's funny in the shoots. He makes things comfortable. I recommend him. So that's what leads to the business. It's not necessarily me creating an Instagram ad for 30 seconds. It's more just, okay, this person, genuine
customer referrals.
Just genuine. It's putting the product out there and
genuine.
having a good reputation. That goes a long way.
Big portfolio.
Yeah. Keep going.
That does help.
Yeah, that does. It does.
Now, what is a moment where you were, unable to take portraits that you wish you could have?
A moment where I wanted to take something but I couldn't do it. I don't know. I can't think of an example where I wanted to do, because like I said, I'm very fixed on what I want to do, and if I want to do it, it usually happens. The only time that would happen if I want to take, like, if I want to do a shoot for somebody I see, okay, I look beautiful, I want to capture you, and they just say, no, I'm not interested, I don't do photo shoots, or I feel too shy on camera, I wouldn't want to, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate whatever. But other than that, usually if they've reached out to me, or or if they've accepted my request to shoot them, or whatever it was, it usually ends up how I wanted to how I wanted to be.
Because you envisioned it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're telling me that you've never had like an opportunity where you were just out and about and you just wanted to do some street photography, and you just didn't have your camera, or you didn't have.
You telling me when Barack Obama pulled up in Ottawa, you were down for that?
You were like, man,
Barack pulled up on Wellington.
Well, that's the thing, because like I always tell people that as long as you understand light and your equipment, you can get a dope photo with any camera.
Yeah.
And that being the case, in 2023, we always have a camera in our pocket.
Yeah, our phone.
So even like if I see something that I want to shoot, if I don't have my Canon R with me, I'm using the iPhone in my pocket.
Yeah,
Stop it.
100%. 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to say her name, but there was a time that I went to a photo shoot and I legit forgot my camera. I brought lights, I brought everything, I set up the lights, and I'm like, oh, I forgot the camera. And I went to the client, I'm like, we're going to have to reschedule. I'm so sorry, I forgot my camera. And she was like this older woman, middle-aged woman, and she legit told me, she's like, listen, I've heard such good things about you and how you're so good at capturing women, and these phones today are so smart, you should just use your phone. And I'm like, are you serious?
Now, what did you have at the time?
It was an iPhone 12 mini.
Okay, pretty good.
An iPhone 12 mini, and I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yes, just you. I think you could. I really believe that you could take some great pictures with your iPhone. And I'm like, all right, if you're cool, I'll do it. And I legit did a photo shoot with her in her home with my iPhone 12 mini, and till this day, it's her profile picture.
Wow.
She's using it as her profile picture.
No discount?
No discount.
But you know what?
No, she paid full price too. I'm saying.
She paid for the cat
Yeah. Listen, man, you pay for the photo, not for the equipment.
she paid for that lens, bro.
Yeah, she paid for the eye.
Did you use the portrait option?
I use portrait mode. Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely use portrait mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I already set up the light, so I was able to get a nice key light on her.
Wow.
I set up the backdrop. She had a white. I brought the white backdrop, and yeah, I was in there. Click, 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 click. Look here, look there. You know what I mean? Straighten your shoulder. I did all of that. And then we went through the raw process, and obviously took a little more editing. But yeah, she was right. She was a book. She's an author, and like I said, it's her profile picture, and she used it as her author picture for the book. So yeah, there's never a time, especially after that, there's never a time that I'll never feel like I can't capture what I want to capture, because like I said, as long as I have a phone in my pocket, or as long as there's a human being around me, most likely they'll have a phone in their pocket, I can. And I understand light. Like I once again, I'm doing this for a long time. Yeah, so I know how to get what I'm looking for.
Well, earlier in the conversation, you mentioned science, right? Like there's a real science to photography.
Yes, there is. Yeah, there's definitely.
Elaborate on that.
Like the main thing, that the first thing, if you're just coming out, you really want to get into it, you really want to understand lighting. You want to understand how light can affect any type of picture. So when you understand, aperture, when you understand, shutter speed, when you understand ISO, and these are all settings on your camera. When you understand how those work, then you understand how to manipulate light to look how you want it to look. And that's the fun part about photography. That's what I also love to teach as well. So I like to teach those basics, because I feel once you have those fundamentals, you almost can like freestyle from there. And but yeah, that's science part. It's almost like a ratio. It's almost like a mathematical equation. It's almost like a piece of a puzzle. Any type of stuff like that. That's what I feel is the fun part about photography. And yeah. Once you figure it out, once you understand it, that's what lures you in. If you're one of those type of people who loves
photography,
cracking the code.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I was going to say, you did mention teaching and mentoring essentially.
Yeah.
So, a colleague of mine told me that you were also mentoring at I think it was
Changemaker Hub. Yes.
Yeah, Changemaker Hub.
Yes.
If you don't mind, speak on it. Give us a bit more clarity about that.
Yeah, for sure. So so it's something that one of my past clients has started. It's a business entrepreneurship, I guess, hub for new people who are starting in businesses. And right now I'm 37 years old, and I've been doing this for 14 years, and I feel like I'm at that point now that I want to give back. I want to enrich, because like I've always, throughout my whole entire career, there's always been people who's been messaging me, I want to come to your photo shoot. I just want to stand, be your assistant, learn, do whatever. And there's people who said, I just want to learn from you. I just want to learn from you. I just want to learn from you. And I'm always open to it. And some people are not serious. Some people are, and whatever it is. And I've always loved to teach, but I've never been able to like create a real place or platform or a proper way how to do it. And then when she told me that she was starting this Changemaker Hub for entrepreneurship, I'm like, hey, maybe this is my opportunity to kind of share some of my tidbits in terms of my business, and like not necessarily just talk about photography, but just talk about the business side of it that a lot of people don't see, and see if it could help any way, shape or form from anybody. And that's basically what I'm doing there. So now I'm a mentor there. I've been assigned to mentees who are starting businesses, and just gonna
keep photography.
No, just anything. Anything. So one of the person I have is actually designing jewelry, and then after the other person that he's into film and videography or whatever. But yeah, I'm just keeping my line open. Anytime they want to ask me about, you know, what should I do if this client is acting like this, or how do I reach more clients, or, you know, this stuff like that I've gone through. I would love to share that information too, because I have no problem. Knowledge is free. So I don't like to be like, oh no, this is my secrets. This is no. Tell it to somebody, and you know, if they benefit off it, great. If they don't, whatever. But knowledge should be shared.
For sure. Knowledge is meant to be free for those that are seeking.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's why I'm a part of that, and yeah, so hopefully, you know, like I've never been a mentor before, so if that goes well, I'll continue to do it, because like I said, I feel like I'm at the point that I wanna, you know, give back, put something on the next generation for people who want to, you know, get into this field, which is a pretty popular field now.
Now, did you have mentors?
Did I have mentors?
This role?
No, not really. Not in this industry. Like I've met a lot of people, you know, who's you know, said their piece or whatever, but I don't think I've had like a true, like, one person that I go to ask about certain things. I just do a lot of listening, and I do a lot of mainly do a lot of, I would say one person, he's a friend, very close friend of mine. He's a lawyer. He has definitely, you know, helped me in terms of you know, logical business thinking, like certain things, perceptions that you want to do, like you know, like sometimes when I first started out, I would pull up to a photo shoot in, you know, joggers or something like that or whatever, and he would say something like, yo, you don't want to do that, you know, especially if you're going to be, you know, shooting very beautiful women. You don't want to be wearing jogging pants, you know what I mean? So, because you know, they may not feel comfortable like that. You want to wear regular pants, you know, make sure, you know, you look proper and stuff like that, because if you're going to be shooting people, they want to be comfortable before you're comfortable. So don't put your comfort over their comfort. Make sure they're comfortable before you are. Right. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So he would share tidbits like that, but once again, he was thinking, he's a lawyer, he's thinking like his legal brain.
Presentation.
Exactly. He's thinking his legal brain is like, okay, I'm trying to make sure he avoids a lawsuit, less work for me. Yeah. But it's more, it kind of helped me in changing my way of thinking of how.
Get sued over rock and joggers?
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Anything's possible, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's big. I mean, think about it. You're mentoring right now kids that are not, well, saying kids, young entrepreneurs that are not trying to be photographers, right?
No.
So it's not surprising that actually the lawyer was one of your mentors.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. Because as a mentor, you don't have to know anything about their field. You just have to. Because like a mentor, you're not telling anybody what to do. You're just telling them what you would do. And then they're going to take that information and be like, okay, maybe that makes sense. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or maybe I should do that, but this way, right? So like if I say something like, okay, one of the advice I gave to somebody was, you know, just keep posting. Because you want to show people that you're working even when you're not working. That makes people, because for some reason, I still don't know the science behind it, but for some reason, when you look busy, people want to work with you all the time. When you're always, like in my field, if I'm always shooting, if I look like I'm always putting up a new shoot, people say, I want to shoot. But if I haven't posted for like 2-3 years, nobody wants to shoot with me because they think that nobody wants to shoot with me. Exactly. Yeah. But if I'm shooting all the time, I'm busy and I don't have time for you, that's when you want to work. Right. So I always tell people, just keep posting. Save photos from before, you know, post them when you're not busy, and then people will start to hit you up.
Literally schedule content.
Exactly. Yeah. Schedule it, you know, plan it, whatever it is. So I tell that to one of my mentees, and she's designing jewelry. So I'm like, if you're bored, you know, whip out your iPhone, show off a new piece or whatever it is, and just post it. Just do that on the regular, and people always think that, you know, you're always selling, you're always working, and they will want to inquire or whatever it is. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
stuff like, and once
People
again,
appreciate consistency. right?
exactly the consistency.
Yeah. No,
consistency.
for sure, man.
100%.
And you know, personally, I love business. So let's talk more about business.
Sure.
Let's talk about actually the side of business, the business side of photography, should I say?
Yeah.
How hard or easy, you know, you would say is it to make a living out of it? You know, you're saying that you support, you know, a wife, kids. And it looks like you're doing quite well for yourself. And
Thank
I mean,
you,
I don't
thank you.
think these are cheap shoes. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm a Jordan head.
Kinda, you know, the watch don't look cheap. You got iPhone 12. So,
yeah.
I mean, you're there. But was it hard, easy? Talk to us about the process and trying to guide us to where you are now.
Yeah, it's definitely requires a lot of discipline, a lot of patience, because you're dealing with people, and you know, a lot of.
That can be tiring.
Yeah, exactly. It's tiring, and they're picky, and you know, just like I said before with the weddings, people want to see certain things. So so when I first started out, I was just doing everything. Anything that
Picking up
yeah,
anything.
exactly. Anything anybody wanted, I would do it. Oh, you know, come to my, you know, son's birthday party or whatever. Yeah, I'll be there, you know. Low price, here it is, whatever. Because I was all just trying to get my name out there and let everybody see that I'm here and have a good referral, and it is what it is. And then after that, then I started thinking about, okay, let's increase the price a little bit, so that way I can kind of work less and I can start to pick and choose what I want to do and what I want to shoot. It's like the most challenges part of the business part is the communication part is because me, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a huge talker, and I don't like explaining things over and over and over again. But that's what you got to do, because the most general question you get is how much for a photo shoot, and what do I get, and you say that 1,000 times a month or whatever it is, but you got to do that, and then after the post part, I mean, after they get the photos and then the choosing, whatever, and the edits, or you know, sometimes somebody want 40 edits, and you're like, okay, that's gonna take this amount of time, and like, oh, but I need it for that. And so it's really just catering to people's needs and emotions, and being very, very, very patient. If you're not patient or have a certain temperament as a photographer shooting people, you can you'll get they'll kick you out of the business real quickly, because like I said, these are needy people, and they want stuff delivered soon, and if your schedule doesn't fit their needs, they'll find somebody else, because there's a bunch of them. So
you lose.
especially now, there's a bunch of them. Everybody has a camera.
So everything is time sensitive.
And when, like, you know, we were talking before off camera, the technology is just getting easier and easier and easier for people who do not, you know the science of photography to capture great photos. So it's almost like, okay, why should I pay somebody $1,000, $2,000 for a photo shoot when my iPhone
Is that what
14
you're charging?
Yeah.
No, no.
God,
For example.
No.
I don't know. That was another. Hey, are you sure you're not good at marketing?
For example. Yeah.
But
So-
it could be depending on what's happening.
Exactly.
It could be in those ranges.
If you're a popular photographer in LA or whatever,
Yeah.
you're in those ranges for sure. And if you know, like I said, if a lot of these days these people are able to capture great pictures with their phone, or with, you know, the Sony S7, A7S or whatever it is, you know, let me drop $500 on that or $1,000 on that, and then take pictures of myself in my home, and it just does it. Just, you know, put it on auto, and it just does it, right? So the technology has gotten so great that it's almost like, what do you need a photographer for?
Right.
Oh, you all right? What do you need
Now
a
it's
photographer?
AI, the rise of AI.
Yeah, AI is coming in now. AI is coming in now, where it's able to just, bam, you know, morph your face and make it look like, you know, you're in some fantasy land, or the AI tracking of the face, or what, adding, like you say, give me the Pope wearing a mink coat, and it'll just make it look like a real picture, right? You know, or you got Face app, you know, this app on that all these women are using. You go on, you click, you know, whatever style it is, and it just morphs your face to make you look like that's you.
Watch out,
even though it's not you. Right?
Watch out, catfish.
All this retouching that I spent 8 hours on, they do it on one tap.
Yeah,
right?
watch out, catfish.
You know, catfish, right? You know, go on TikTok, click on the filter, swipe left. Changes you.
But you know they're done with this in France, eh? In France, it's out loud.
Yeah, they out loud. Yeah.
Catfishing shall stop in France.
You know what happened, right? You know what happened, right? One of those lawmakers went on a date with somebody that did not look like what they were swiping on the Tinder app. And they came home and like, you know what? Something needs to be done.
Something ain't right.
Right? So that's what I'm saying.
Go date in France.
We're changing that. I'm doing this for all the brothers out there, right? Who went through what I went through. So yeah, it's gotten so easy. So easy. So that's what I was saying before. You got to be able to know what the technology does and whatever it is. Because, you know, what? So if a model asks you, it's like, why can't I just face app it? And, you know, and you can just, if you understand the technology, you can tell them, yeah, sure, you can, but it's only good for Instagram. Because I can't submit that to a magazine. They're not going to take, because it's going to be low quality. It's going to be optimized for a cell phone, which is this small. How are you going to put that on a billboard without it being pixelated? Yes. Right? So that's where I come in. But it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. But right now, there are ways to kind of combat that. And same thing too. Once again, I was talking about patience. Sometimes, whatever. Just let them go. Let them, if they feel more confident doing whatever modifications on their phone to their photo and makes them happier posting it, cool, post it. It's
Let them figure it out.
Yeah, it's your picture. If you feel you look better that way, cool. You know? But like I said, I'm just not as a original OG photographer. I'm not the biggest fan of these apps, but they're there, so I gotta use I gotta understand that they're there and work them into how I do my business.
Yeah, well, also, you know, we chatted about that off camera too. Like, I mean, an AI, a robot, I mean, I have yet to see it, but let's say you're doing a shoot, right? It's a beauty also in like interacting with your subject.
There is.
I would think, right?
There is 100%. But there's studios in Montreal now where there are no photographers.
Yeah, you just walk in, sit down,
you sit up, and has it on a little tripod thingy, and it just takes pictures of just you. Just as regular, you could sit on or whatever, and it'll just take pictures of you. Nobody's there. It's automatically. And then when you're done your session, you go, you look at your photos, you put them on your flash drive, whatever it is.
Seen that,
And there's no photographer needed. Wow. Right? So people are figuring it.
Yeah, it's a whole studio that's already set up. You just walk in, you sit down, you take your pictures, and you go.
It's almost like a photo booth, but it's a studio.
Yeah.
So and it just follows you around. AI tracks you, does your thing, or there's a way how to kind of ignite it to actually take the picture. And like I said, they're thinking of more and more ways to kind of get the photo shoot experience without the photographer.
Yeah, that
Excuse
sense.
me, it's coming. It's
only
coming.
a matter of time.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So to kind of wrap things up overall, what would be the next work that we have to look out for overall with you and that camera in general?
Where
are you taking that camera next?
So I'm branching into film. Like I said, I did that one film a couple years ago, and now I just wrote another one. I'm going to be shooting it, actually later this week. I'm going to try to dive in a little more into film. Directing, producing, writing. I want to do feature film. I kind of want to get into film festivals and, get some of this stuff on television. And because that's where I feel, first of all, I love it. I like that first film that I did. Like, I love being on set, and I love, once again, the technology and the stuff that we're using to create these stuff. And once again, just like photography, having my vision come to life, but only people are moving now. It's on the television set. People are, so creating a story. And so I love film just as much as I love photography. So I'm gonna branch into that, and try to get on the TV screen and festivals, and create more stuff that I'm proud of, and involve more people, because there's no way I can do a film by myself. So once again, I'm in that mode where I'm kind of getting everybody else's creative input and delegating and allowing other people to do what they're good at, and all of it come together and create this one great piece. And that's where industry's going to. People are loving to watch videos. You scroll on Instagram, it's 90% reels than it is photos anymore. So people want moving, people want to watch videos, so we'll give them what they want. Let's make some videos.
That makes sense.
Some videos.
Make some films.
Even when you look at photographies, like they say a live video picture, right? You get like 2 seconds.
A little bit, just a little bit. Now even putting, I don't even know why they do this, but they put music on your photo. I find that
on the iPhone.
No, on Instagram. Like you can add, add a song to why would I want to listen to a song while I'm looking at a picture? Is it?
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Content, you gotta stay creative, I guess.
It's a vibe.
I don't know.
I get a video, listen to music in the background, but if I see a picture, the photo's not moving. Just,
but you can know what I'm thinking, that's what it is. It's a vibe.
All right.
Leave you to where they want you.
You want to go and then you scroll up. It's like, cool, but I guess that's why they do it, because people like using it. But I don't know, me, I don't see the point.
Oh yes, my dear sir, it was an honor. Respect, thanks for coming, bro.
No worries, thank you, brother. Thank you. No worries, man.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.